Hi. Wait, can you talk for a sec? Last night I got literally heinous. Literally heinous with Lily Maslia.
Hello and welcome back to Literally Heinous. We have my fashionista expert, Sydney Zerlip, is back on the pod. I think you were on 2 or 3 years ago for the Karl Lagerfeld Met Gala, and it was one of my best performing episodes. I got so many comments. You were an absolute star, and that was before I moved to New York. And after I talked to you, I was like, oh my God, I have to move to New York. And now I'm living in New York. And my first guest, when I was like, I'm going full time on my podcast, I was like, I need to get Sydney back on the pod. So, welcome back, Sydney. Thank you so much for coming back.
Of course, I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you back. So the Met was about a week ago, and you are a fashion gal. Last we talked, you were a PR gal at an agency, and now you're in-house. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've done in the fashion world and what you're doing?
Yeah, of course. So I was previously at an agency, so handling PR and events for a multitude of brands, big and small. I've done Fashion Week in New York for the past couple years, doing shows, front of house, back of house, interviews, seating, things like that. And then last year, I actually got to work the Mark red carpet for the Met Gala. So that was really fun. I kind of
So
had a
cool.
hand in that. And then as of November, I actually work in-house at Net-a-Porter. So handling PR and events for North America for them. So a little bit less in the fashion show and Met Gala realm, but still doing, fun brand activations and things like that.
Yeah, that's so fun. So Net-a-Porter, I admittedly had to look up like the difference between Net-a-Porter and the Real Real and like Vestiaire and Essence. What is your like autopsy? Like what's the difference between the big ones?
So Net-a-Porter is a luxury retailer. We buy from brands. It's the same as like a Saks or a Bergdorf's. We're just fully online. So a competitor would be Moda Operandi.
Okay.
For the Real Real, it's all like resold items. Same with Vestiaire. It's similar to Essence though. It's
Yeah.
all online.
Yes. So how are you liking the in-house life? What is the difference between like fashion agency world and being in-house?
They're very different. In-house anywhere is going to be a bit slower just because you are working with one brand as opposed to, 8 to 12 at a time. You're really focused on the storytelling behind the brand that you work with. It's fun being in-house at a retailer because I still get to work with multiple brands as we
Yeah.
house all the brands on the site. So a lot of our events are in tandem with, a capsule with
Hmm.
like Kate or Chloe or something like that. At an agency, things are so much more fast paced. You get a client who wants to do a project immediately. You have a month to do something. They're both fun in their own regard.
Yeah. So are you in person at Net-a-Porter?
Yeah, 4 days a week.
So, yeah. So, what is that like working in a fashion office? I feel like I would be stressed all the time. Like I worked at GM, like at General Motors, and like I was slaying at GM, like in the office, like it was my own mini fashion show. I could not imagine working at a fashion company in New York. What is that like?
It it's not like the Devil Wears Prada. Like I feel like people think, and maybe it was back in that realm, like in that
Yeah.
timeline. But it's like your typical open office, people
Hmm.
are coming in jeans and a t-shirt. Some people are dressed up, some people aren't. I like to dress up just because I like fashion and
Yeah.
I need a place to wear my clothes. But it's really nothing crazy. I imagine it's like working at any other office, honestly.
Yeah. But it's like the jeans and the t-shirt, I'm sure there it's like way different than like jeans and a t-shirt somewhere else.
Yeah, it's more, people talking about brands and things like I think the general conversations we have day to day are probably a bit different,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you find that it's like an inclusive environment, like people are nice, or are people kind of trying to be cool?
No, people are nice. I think, I mean, it very much so depends on where you're working. I think Net-a-Porter is great. Everyone's very inclusive. It's, a very great environment. Everyone's friendly. At the agencies I've worked in, same thing. Everyone's friendly, very inclusive. I think when, I've heard stories about people working at, the LVMH brands. I don't know
Hmm.
if that's true. I've never worked there. Sometimes things can be a bit catty in the industry, but I think that that's changed a lot. I think pre my time, it was probably a bit
Yeah.
more catty. I think now that everything's on social media and people, talk about their experiences, I don't think that it's the same as it, or at least as what I've heard that it once was.
What are like the other sorts of fashion jobs that you can have in New York? So you've got like the agencies, PR agencies, event agencies, you've got like the retailers, and then like working directly at a brand. Like what else is there?
I mean, there's, a ton. You can be a buyer, you can do merchandising, for e-commerce or visual merchandising for a store. There's, like you said, event production, PR, marketing. I mean, there's finance roles at
Hmm.
companies. You can you can be a stylist, you could be a designer.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there's really a multitude of things that you can do in the
Yeah.
fashion industry.
So, what is your relationship to fashion and how did you get into it? Was it your calling? Like, were you that girl in school that was always wearing crazy outfits? Like, take us through your experience.
No, not really. I mean, growing up, it wasn't like I had always wanted to work in the fashion industry. I mean, I of course, grew up on Sex and the City and watching Devil Wears Prada, things like that, but
Hmm.
it never really dawned on me that that was something that you could work in. I grew up with doctors as parents, and my brothers both do, business style jobs, engineering, and things like that. I never really realized that people actually did, the
Yeah.
fashion, entertainment,
Yeah.
music. I didn't really realize those were actual things that you could do. It wasn't until in college, I was a business major because everyone was a business major.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want to do science. So
Yeah, for sure.
it wasn't until I actually met somebody who did wear those crazy out there outfits and who was a fashion merchandising major that I realized that that was something you could actually do and you could major in college. So I decided to do fashion merchandising as my minor, and really, uh, it just opened a whole world of things that you could do in the industry.
Yeah.
I originally wanted to be a designer, so I went into product development. It was my first role in fashion, and realized that people spend their entire early life trying to be a designer, like taking sewing
Mhm.
lessons and things like that, which I
Yeah.
did take a few classes like that at FIT when I moved to New York, but that was never going to be my space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But living in New York definitely opened my eyes to becoming, interested in fashion and my personal style and things like that.
Yeah. How else does New York like influence your fashion sense and like give you inspo?
I think living in New York, you are never too dressed up or never too dressed down. I think it gives you,
Hmm.
a world to play in.
Yeah.
I think LA is probably the same, but I think when you live in like any other town, or like when I go visit my friends, I feel like I'm always the most dressed up. Uh,
Yeah.
Not for any reason. It's just in New York, you kind of
Yeah.
challenged a little bit to be able to play with your clothes a bit more.
Yeah. I went to a party last night that was really cool and I was very out of my element, but it was a launch party for some like new streetwear brand my friend invited me to. And the outfits that I saw, it's just so inspiring and it's so great to be surrounded by beautiful people. And I was like looking around and I was like, I am the most chopped person here, but I love it. Like, this is like the environment that I want to be in. Like, I want to be like pushing myself to be in rooms where I'm the worst dressed and where I'm the most chopped. Like, some of these girls were literally the most beautiful people I've ever seen.
To the nines, for
It
sure, for
was
events like that.
it was crazy. I was like, I don't even think I mean, my outfit was like, it was fine. I wore like a mini dress with like a fur trim denim jacket and like tall stiletto boots. So like it was okay. But like I just saw the coolest stuff there and it was really inspiring and it like it's turned me into such a snob because like when I go visit friends and if I'm going to like a bachelorette party in like Denver, I'm like, "Oh, honey."
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely where you go is different for sure in
Yeah.
terms of style. I do think that there is something to be said though about being in New York and you're constantly flooded by people that look really cool. I think it does
Hmm.
fuel a bit of like overconsumption and things like that. So that's,
Yes.
definitely a downside of it to care, as much as, we do, I guess, about looking
Yeah.
that way. But I mean, it's fun too.
Yes, the overconsumption is hard, and like I quit my job, so I'm like doing this full time, so I'm like actively not making money, but it's okay. I'm like I'm building an empire. So
Yeah,
I'm just like trying to
exactly.
shop like so much less, but like you can be fashion forward without spending a lot of money.
Totally, totally. I think that sets apart people that just have a lot of money and people that have personal taste.
Totally. Oh my God. Okay. So I was talking to about this like with my friend, and there's like two girls that we know from Atlanta who like growing up who have like donned these like pretty impressive, like I almost like influencer careers, like fashion influencer careers. And I can't even stalk them on Instagram without wanting to kill myself. And I just look at like their clothes and the events, and it's like I knew them, and it's like the events they're getting invited to and the celebrities are taking pictures with and the outfits, and I'm like, oh my God. But I'm like, that could never be me because it like takes money to like you have to start like that.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, I think that, people who were convinced that we need to buy a lot of things in a short period of time, I think
Yeah.
definitely creating a capsule wardrobe over time and buying those expensive pieces here and there is, I mean, not something that people should do, but it's something that I personally do. But I
Yeah.
just feel like with social media, it makes it feel like we need to have a new bag every week or a new, something that's just like not feasible, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely am someone who like once a quarter I'll like save up to buy something really nice from a collection that I really want. But that's, building a wardrobe over years and years and years.
How do you like I don't even know how to ask this question, but in your head, like how do you, I don't want to say justify because it's not that like this stuff isn't worth it, but it's like what is your parameters? Like what is your rubric for like purchasing things? Like how do you notice gaps in your closet and like how do you fill it and justify? Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but like how do you shop essentially? Like how do you quantify it?
Well, I think, I mean, an interest in high fashion is definitely needed to be able to
Hmm.
justify spending that amount of money. I mean, if you don't have an interest in high fashion, then no matter what, you're never going to buy the $1,000 pair of shoes. You're never going to buy
Yeah.
the jacket from the new season Celine or old season Celine, whatever. You're never going to be able to convince someone to buy that if they're not interested in it. For me, I am looking at Vogue Runway after every season. I'm very much the people that I follow are very interested in all of, the shows and whatnot. So I will, pinpoint different things that I want and things that I need. You don't really need any of this stuff,
No, no,
but
no, no.
you know,
I know what you mean.
yeah. And then, I mean, that's how I justify it. I just love, fashion. I love beautiful pieces. So
Yeah.
that's just
I
where I
just
choose to spend my money.
like there's so much to learn. So like there's so many fashion brands. Like you have the high fashions and then you have like the Celine and the Kates and the like and then you have the up like how are you memorizing all of their collections and like knowing it so much to know what you want? Like that's
It's just a part of the job, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
it's just everything. It's just like, how does anyone know a lot about anything? It's just
Yeah.
that's what I'm consuming on my feed is all, designers
Yeah.
talking about their collections and things like that. It's all, I mean, I work in the business of PR, or fashion PR, so I'm
Yeah.
constantly reading articles about things. I have my favorite editors. I have,
Yeah.
my favorite influencers that I'm following who are talking about this stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. I have this question later, but so who are your faves? Like who should we be following? Like who do you consume?
In terms of editors or
Like writing, influencers, Substack,
yeah.
Instagram.
So a lot of who I follow are like the editorial tastemakers, I guess, in the industry. Rachel Tajan is a really great one. She used to be at Washington Post, but now she's at CNN Style, kind of developing their style vertical. On Instagram, she's the Profit Pizza,
Okay.
and she's great. Basically, her take on fashion, I just love. Jose Crieles Unzuet. I honestly can't pronounce his name. It's in Spanish. He's Hispanic, but Jose is great. He used to do Vogue Fashion News. Now he's at Vanity Fair, but he has a lot of takes that I really love. Uh, Liana Satinstein. She used to be at Vogue, but now she is kind of a freelancer and does a lot of stuff with brands and Substack and things like that. She's great. But really, it would just follow editors, honestly. They're the
Yeah.
people that are posting, maybe they're writing about specific stuff, but they're the ones, following everything. They're the knowledgeable ones.
Yeah, I'm always more inclined to like, I am always questioning influencers, and it's like anyone can just like, or not anyone, but it's like people can just have money and like buy shit, obviously. And I'm like, that doesn't like mean something to me though. So I'm like,
Less interested in the fashion influencers. I mean, I work with them for, you know,
yeah,
for event and partnership purposes, but in terms of who I take away my knowledge from, it's not necessarily them. I
totally.
think the people who have jobs within fashion, who have become influencers in their own right because of their job in fashion, are the people that, you can be learning from. Like Brenda Weischer, for example, she's
I follow her.
yeah, like she's a good one. And she honestly talks about this a lot about how the influencers at fashion shows like just don't know what they're talking about. But that's
Yeah.
because they, became famous because they're beautiful or famous because they're
Yeah.
beautiful people who post great content that get, the masses excited, but
Hmm.
they're not that knowledgeable about the actual space.
Yeah, I totally get that. I recently read Andre Leon Talley's memoir.
Yeah, it's great.
That like just, I mean, and it just destroyed me. And it was so sad that he died and like he was and just got kind of pushed out. And like I always think about him at the Met Gala and like throwback pictures, like he's always in the background and like oh my God, it was the most amazing book. It was my favorite memoir, probably like that and Julia Fox's, which is right behind me. But yeah, I definitely like respect their opinions and like with these like fashion influencers. It's also not lost on me that they're all just so thin that I'm like, I just can't really take fashion advice from someone of that proportion because like I am like a curvy gal. I'm like the like jeans and t-shirt that looks good on like the 5'7", like really thin girl. It's just so different. And like their style recommendations are not that good. It's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like it just looks good because they're thin. So I
Yeah,
definitely gravitate more towards like vintage, like funky. Like I would rather buy something that no one else has than just like a Prada bag just for the sake of having a Prada bag.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that also just buying something because someone else has it is honestly a reason for me why I don't buy stuff. People have always asked me why I don't start my own like shop buy or like affiliate link thing. And it's
Yeah,
because I buy things that other people don't have because I don't want other people to have them. To me,
same.
things lose their value a bit if, why
Yep.
would I spend all this money on something if every other person has the same thing?
Yeah. Where do you shop mostly? Like, do you do like the secondhand thing?
I do both. I shop my favorite brands aren't necessarily the brands that I'm like shopping all the time. Again, they're things where I'm like working up to buy something. But I would say Jill Sander and Dries Van Noten are my favorite contemporary designers. Obviously I love Kate, but the price point on Kate is just like incredibly high. It's and
Yeah.
getting higher. But I would
Yeah.
say the Real Real honestly has a lot of really good finds if you just like know how to navigate the site. Can be kind of
Yeah.
chaotic and their imagery is awful, but honestly, if you know how to navigate the site, it makes it better for the person who's, has an eye for
Yeah.
it. Um,
It's a skill. It's a
yeah,
skill.
definitely. But
Um,
yeah, I mean, kind of just, random sites.
yeah.
I have a lot of Danish and Dutch brands as well.
Okay.
Um, people,
Yeah, I I struck gold one time and I found these like older ladies that were hosting a closet sale in their like one of their artist lofts and I struck gold there. And
yeah.
I got this like 1980s JPG mini dress with matching gloves. And
Hmm.
it's so fabulous. And I still haven't been able to wear it. Like I got it like a year ago and I'm like I have to get invited to something fabulous. Like I could have
Yeah.
worn it last night, I guess. Okay, so let's talk about the Met. So Met was on Monday. Fashion is art, which was kind of a crazy theme because it was so vague, but I loved it, I guess. I mean, what were your thoughts overall?
Overall, I don't know. I think that people get their hopes up so much about every Met Gala, and I feel like every year people are just like let down. I mean, not
Hmm.
every single person is going to come out of the woodwork and, stunt the way that we want them
Yeah.
to. I think that there were some beautiful gowns and interpretations. I think that a lot of people I would have liked to see people interpreting art a little bit more as opposed to directly replicating art pieces.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, overall, I think people were wearing some gorgeous things.
Yeah. Who were your favorites?
So Emma Chamberlain, of course. I mean, her gown was just absolutely stunning, and I love Mugler. I think they were referencing that
Yeah.
old Mugler piece with the feathers that people were talking about. It was unfortunate that she was like the first person to arrive because then
Yeah.
everyone was just like out of the gate, wow. And then I don't think a lot of people came close to that. The Sabine Getty, honestly, I'm not super
Yeah.
familiar with her, but she was wearing Ashy Studio, who I love, and her dress was really great.
Yeah. The Getty family has some crazy lore if you haven't
No,
researched it.
I haven't. I don't know much about it.
I follow Ivy Getty, who I
Yeah,
believe is
she's
her
got a lot of
sister.
events and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like wild billionaire family. Like I'm
Yeah,
so jealous. Like I wish like wish that were me.
yeah, me too.
I loved it's so funny my mom keeps up with the Met because she knows that I love it. So she like will send me like her favorites every year. We loved Inox. I thought she was
Yeah,
amazing. I thought that
she
was great.
makeup was absolutely fabulous. Also, I had the pleasure of doing an event with her at my previous agency, and she's like the most beautiful person in
Dude.
life. I have this video of her that like zooms into her face, and she's gorgeous.
Who else have you worked with that's been like even more stunning in real life?
I mean, they're all stunning in real life. At this same event, Christy Turlington was there, who's like one of my favorite OG models, and seeing her in person, my breath was taken away.
Yeah.
She's stunning.
Yeah.
But I mean, any of them, they're all gorgeous.
Yeah, I know. It's so annoying like seeing celebrities in real life because you like tell yourself in their head like, "Oh, they're airbrushed. No one actually looks like that." And you're like, "Okay,
They
yeah, they do."
do.
No,
They
it's
do.
when you worked the Met last year, what was that experience like?
Honestly, it was great. That was like the culmination of everything that I've wanted in fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work the actual Met.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was really fun. You're, dressed to the nines. You have this air of just like decorum that you have to
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
all of these celebrities floating around. And I mean, at events, there's always like 2 to 3 to 4 celebrities, but working this, there's
Yeah.
hundreds. And it's just really cool to see everybody moving with their teams and how excited people get.
Yeah. That is so fun. Was there any like drama or skerfuffles that you saw?
No drama. I think the coolest thing was I don't know if people remember last year, Anna Sui and Zendaya were kind of dressed in a similar look.
Hmm.
It was like a white
Oh, I
suit.
do remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and so Anna Sui was on my floor that I was handling for the Mark Hotel. And she was talking with her stylist, and as they were getting ready to leave, her stylist had said, "Oh, it looks like Zendaya's wearing something similar." And I got to talk, watch
Oh.
them talk about it. I think that might have been her first Met Gala, so she was obviously a little bit nervous that she was going to show up wearing the same look, but it was cool to be a part of that experience.
I could not
She
imagine.
showed up and she looked great. And, they had all this press about,
Yeah.
the Met
I
Gala.
think
Like,
Zendaya like sent her flowers the next day or something.
yeah, it was something
Um,
like that. But to be a part of like the initial conversation was, I mean, just that was really cool.
I mean, could you imagine like dressing up to going to an event and it's like of all people, like Zendaya's wearing the same thing and it's like, okay. But
Yeah,
it's also a compliment. Like it's a testament. I'm like, okay, you guys have the same taste. Like that's huge.
totally. It also wasn't, I mean, they both looked great, but it wasn't like an out of the
Mm.
box idea.
Yeah,
It was a, a theme that was all about tailoring. So wearing a white suit
of
is,
course. Of
you know.
course. Do you know the Met assistant from that viral video?
I don't know her personally. I have so many thoughts on that. Honestly, when I first saw it, I thought that she was maybe doing PR for a hotel or for a brand.
Yeah.
And everybody's like praising her line. And I mean, it is that serious when you're in the moment, so I get it. if I were to be caught treating people that way or saying those things at my previous job, working, the
Yeah.
pre-met red carpet, I would have been fired on the spot. Like
Yeah.
there's a level of decorum and
Hmm.
just like ease that you have to show.
Yeah.
I then was reading that she was a Knox assistant. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, interesting.
It was just like someone had said, but I think it's different if you're a celebrity's assistant. It's like it doesn't matter if you're trying to make sure that your person is getting where they need to be and whatnot. So I think that that's a little bit different, and it's like, okay, do your thing. But if she was working in an agency or something, I mean, you would be like immediately fired
Yeah.
if you were caught doing that on camera.
I couldn't even finish the video. Like I was so like cringed out for some reason.
I mean, yeah, I get where she was coming from. It is so high stakes. I've worked doors where it's like you do sometimes have to get a little bit rude, but it's just unfortunate that it was caught on camera.
I mean, I'm honestly glad that people are being nicer to her because the internet
Yeah,
is so crazy. And it's
yes,
like, at least, I mean, she was being kind of weird, but it's like, at least people are being nice to her. I don't
totally.
know. That's so funny that you know her. Or you've seen it. I guess, is
Yeah.
everyone talking about it?
No, not really. It's just like on my social media. I'm sure people are talking about it in like agencies and what.
Yeah. So with the Bezos of it all, so what do you, I mean, it didn't really have a ton of repercussions. Like, I think there were notes of a few celebs skipping it because of Bezos, but like, Met Gala is still Met Gala. What do you think of the controversy?
Honestly, it's a charity event, and people are always saying that rich people need to give back more or do stuff. I mean, that's what they're doing. Yes, they're like
Hmm.
buying a seat that, he could what the Met Gala made, they could donate and it wouldn't even be,
Yeah.
a thing. People are saying that Anna should have asked for a bit more from them. I think they paid $10 million, and it's like, maybe ask for a bit more from a billionaire if you're going to bring them in.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a business. Condé Nast is a business. The Met Gala, or the Met Museum is a business,
Totally.
and it,
Yeah.
like, sorry, I'm getting text messages. I don't know. I kind of think that something
Yeah.
on the arts, like,
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of just like selective outrage or like because the Met Gala is so visible and it's fashion's biggest night and it's really up there with like the Oscars, I guess I'd say is like most publicized like pop culture event. So like obviously this is getting like but I mean everything is a business. Like we live in a society. Like it's
yeah, like the arts, and people get so mad at arts and entertainment and the film industries and things like that for, you know, calling upon these like these
yeah.
capitalistic businesses and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's like they need to make money. Like that's why actresses and actors do the big budget films for
Yeah.
Netflix and whatnot, is because those are the ones paying it. And, you see Daniel Radcliffe talking about how he makes so much money in royalties from Harry Potter that he gets to do all of the indie things
Hmm.
he wants to do because he did that and has this money. It's
Yeah. And we arts should be funded. Like
yeah.
we live in a time where it's like the arts are like actively being defunded. So I'm like, okay, I guess like a billionaire wanting to like what exactly did he buy? A co-chair spot or
Yeah, they were Amazon was like the main sponsor. And it has become a little bit less about I mean, not less about the arts. To market it, it's become less about the arts and more about, this grandiose performance, which I think people are mad about, but it's also just the day and age that we live in. Like it's the content people are consuming. So I
yeah,
feel like the people that are getting mad about it are people that, purchase their toilet paper on Amazon, or they're shopping
totally.
at Zara, or
Yeah.
you can't like pick and choose. If you're gonna die on a hill, you got to die on all the hills, in my opinion.
I really hate when people comment on these videos and they say like watching from District 12.
Yeah,
Like
I'm just like,
that pisses me off. I'm like, you're consuming the content. Like
I
you
know.
obviously are a fan.
Exactly. The reason that it's gotten so big is because millions of people are consuming the content. So, if you want it to not have as many eyeballs, don't watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, and the way that people like critique outfits really bothers me. Like for some reason I always feel a little more like whenever people are critique like she didn't follow the theme. I'm like, okay, well, did you read about what she was wearing? Because it was probably a reference that you didn't get.
Yeah, that's fair. I do think that To me, like I'm really into the theme. I think it's like, if you want to wear a beautiful dress, wear it to the Oscars. I think that
Yeah.
people should follow the themes. But I mean, that being said, yeah, sometimes people are referencing things that you just didn't get. But then to that point, it's like maybe it wasn't a good
Yeah.
of the reference.
Yeah. So in the industry, like celebrity wise, who's everyone talking about? Like who's everyone wanting to style? Like what is the scuttlebutt?
I would say Tiana Taylor, at least during the award season, I mean, she ruled award season with all of her looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone kind of shows up and shows out at, those things. I don't know of any like specific one person that people are targeting to style.
Yeah.
Everyone works with different people within the industry, but I don't know. I'm excited for I hope there's some new up and coming talent. Like Chase Infinity was a great one who she just like kind of
Yeah.
came up and then,
Yeah.
kind of rocked it with her style.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, she looked amazing. That was probably like one of my favorites, top
Yeah,
fives.
me too.
What's your POV on Connor and Hudson?
On their looks or
Yeah,
just
or just like in general, like I feel like, I mean, obviously they're so famous and they've been having pretty good style moments. Like, what's your take?
I mean, I think they've been great. I didn't like necessarily love either of their Met Gala looks, but I think it's their first Met Gala. I mean, they're very new to
Yeah.
the scene and whatnot. But I mean, I think they're funny to follow, to watch. I'm
Yeah.
excited for new projects that they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have fresh faces like that and they're like playing with, I mean, they really probably only had like 2 months to plan their Met Gala look,
Yeah.
if that. So what about like stylists? So like who are the best stylists right now? Like who's up and coming? Like what's the tea with Law Roach?
I mean, I don't know any tea with him. I mean, he styles, Zendaya and Ariana Grande, I believe Celine Dion as well.
Hmm.
He is great at styling them. I've never worked with him personally. I've been at an event with him before and, he was great. In terms of stylists that I really like, Danny Michelle is a good one. She has great personal style. I like to follow like smaller stylists. Caitlin Burke's a good one. She does less celebrity styling and more campaign styling or brand styling. But I mean, all of the big ones are, they have hits and they have misses. There's Carla Welch and Erin Walsh and Kate Young. They all have a slew of celebrities that they dress.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've been following Jared Elner for a while. What's your take on him?
He's great. I believe he does Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know if he still does, but he did at one point.
Yeah.
And he's a good follow as well.
Yeah, he's been doing like he does Rachel Sennett and like
Mhm.
Emma Chamberlain. Like he's been working with her for a while, so he's interesting to there was another one that who did Rose Byrne this award season.
I don't know off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
She had some good looks that I was really into that.
Yeah.
Is styling, is that sort of like the end goal for a lot of people? Like, is that your goal? Like, how is that seen?
No, I mean it's one route. I think
Yeah.
I actually started my own personal styling business,
Oh my
so
God.
kind of
Oh yeah.
doing private clients
Okay.
and things like that. Celebrity styling is not something that I personally am interested in,
Yeah.
but other people are for sure. It's definitely fun or it looks
Yeah.
fun. I think, it's something you have to, like anything, if you want to succeed, there's thousands upon thousands of stylists. It's, you have
Yeah.
to make the name for yourself. You have to be really, really good at it. And it's a lot of hard work and it's a
Hmm.
lot of being an assistant to people for years and years and years. Um, but yeah, it's definitely one path that you could do.
How is your personal styling journey going, your business?
It's good. I'm basically helping people kind of take a look at their closets,
Yeah.
seeing what they wear, what they don't, what they like about clothes, kind of helping them kind of look at personal style a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Um, it's very small and I do it when I can. But yeah, I take, any age range, any gender. I do virtual and also in person. So,
Oh my God, so fun. So you could just like come over and go through my closet with me?
yeah.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Okay. I might have to take you up on that. Okay, so changing gears. So how do you think that Chloe is doing with Vogue and what's been that transition like?
Well, Anna's not like gone. She's like
Yeah.
still, very much so there. And I know she like is still in the office and things like that every now and again. I mean, I think Chloe's doing a good job for what she's been given. Obviously, Anna's not picking somebody who, out of the blue. She's
Yeah.
vetting people, and it's somebody who's worked at Vogue for quite some time. I want to say it's been like over a decade that Chloe's been there. I think people are comparing her to Anna Winter, and she's not Anna Winter. And, it's also very different times that they're coming up in. We're in a very social age of
Yeah.
time. So I think people are just seeing a lot more behind the scenes than what they used to. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've never met her personally, but I've heard she's
I
lovely.
like the podcast. I just listened to the
A
clips
run through?
though. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm dying to talk about weddings. Can we talk about weddings for a
Yeah, of
second?
course.
Okay, so we are both engaged gals, and I just want to know, like, what are you thinking for your dress? Like, for your looks? Like, what are you looking at? Is there any, like, crumb that you can give us?
My wedding is going to be summer of 2028. So
Okay.
it's going to be quite some time from now. So I haven't really gotten too deep into what I want to wear. I go back and forth all the time about kind
Can't
of
imagine, like, your
it
decision paralysis, because, like, you
is.
know
Yes.
so much.
I don't want your like typical ball gown. I kind of want it to feel, I'm getting married in Europe. I kind of
Oh,
want it to feel like very like thrown together and like,
yeah.
you know, so I don't know. I go so back and forth. I would love to be able to have all the money in the world and be able to like buy something absolutely crazy, but
Yeah.
or like get something custom, but obviously that's not the
I
case.
feel like you can pull strings, like you know people, like if you believe, like you're just gonna have you can do it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I have some time.
You do have
I
time.
loved the Naomi Elize is a editor at Vogue, and Christopher John Rogers did her custom wedding dress, and I was obsessed with it.
Wow.
But
I need
yeah,
to check that out. So my dress, I went vintage, and I love it. I knew I was gonna go vintage, or
yeah,
I didn't know it, but I just like knew in my heart because like back to what we were saying, it's like I don't want to wear something that other people are wearing, and I
totally.
see TikTok comments all the time of people being like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen a single video of someone else wearing my dress. I'm freaking out." I'm like, that is not something to like be worried about. I'm like, I
Yeah,
would be bothered if I saw like other people wearing my dress.
I would be absolutely devastated if I saw someone, especially someone, not even, I don't care about people on social media, whatever, but if I saw somebody that I knew who was wearing my dress or something very similar before my wedding, I would be devastated.
Yeah. Definitely not. And I knew so I tried on, I went to Atlanta to try out, like, did three dress appointments and I did two, one at Anthropologie Bridal just to like get a baseline. And that was fun. And then another one at like another dress store. I tried on a lot of Jenny U's. Do you know her?
Familiar, but
She's kind of like the new, she's not new necessarily, but I feel like everyone's wearing Jenny U and she does these ball gowns. And like the thing is about ball gowns, it's like they all look good. Like, of course they look good. Like I was doing some sweetheart necklines, some cat eye necklines, and like they looked amazing. But and then I got dinner with a friend afterwards who's like very much in the wedding circuit. And I was showing her the dresses I liked. She was like, oh, my friend wore that one. My friend wore that one. My friend almost wore that. And I was like, okay, no Jenny U's. And then my mom and I did an appointment at this vintage collector called Gossamer. Have you heard of her?
yeah, I look at her online
Bro.
all the time. She's got some great stuff.
Yeah, so we went to her house out in Lilburn, Georgia, and it was
Mhm.
just like me, my mom, and this woman, and I'm like butt naked in her living room, like kids like running around, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so stressful. And she's like, it's fine, they won't come in. There's like glass French doors too. I'm like, oh my God. But it was so much fun. I definitely recommend, not to like me give you recommendations, but if you go, I mean, her collection was unbelievable.
Yeah,
And I
she
was a little
wasn't
hesitant.
online. store. I like constantly am like looking at her site. Yeah.
I was hesitant about like vintage dresses because like they get kind of a bad rap, or like in
I
my head.
Yeah, I see myself wearing probably a vintage wedding dress.
Yeah, because I you picture like the big fluffy like poofy things. So I was like, I don't want to wear that, but like
Yeah.
I found this dress that was it's 1990s Italian designer Lispo's di Gio, and I'll text you a picture after this,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I wanted to create like a look too, and that was the other thing about ball gowns is I felt like the ball gown was the look. And
Yeah.
it's like you can maybe throw on a necklace or whatever, but it just felt like that was it. In this dress, it's a little more like understated, like put together, but I'm gonna be doing like having all sorts of like things. So I'm excited and I cannot wait for yours.
I am, yes. I'm like I need to like get inspo from yours and from everyone's. I haven't like really I haven't done enough.
No, I mean you've got so much time. Okay, so I want to quickly transition as we're almost done, but I'm so sad I could literally talk to you all day. Trends. What is popping up? What are you seeing? What can you give the Haniacs any sort of like that's my fan base.
I love it.
Can you tell the Haniacs like what can we be buying right now that we can get on the forefront?
This is such like a boring answer, and I know this isn't helpful at all, but I don't really like succumb to trends. I actually hate the word trend, if I'm being honest,
Yeah.
because I just think that that is such like not a way to go about your personal style journey. I think
Yeah.
things that, I mean, you can obviously pull references and whatnot, but I think that following trends is how we get into this cycle of everyone looking the exact same.
Yeah.
So I think that I don't know, like for example, like people love ballet flats. It's something that everybody is
Yeah.
that is something that I will never ever wear because it's not something that looks good on me, but it's something that every designer is making. It's something that everybody loves. It's something that everyone's wearing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not something that I would ever do. People were
Yeah.
like, butter yellow is the color of the season. Yellow is one of my favorite colors and it's something that I've worn forever. And it's something I will continue to wear even after it's not something that people
Yeah.
are wearing. But yeah, I think that, I don't know. I think that when you are so following trends,
Yeah.
lose your own personal style.
That is so true. What is like a Sydney signature? Like something that you always gravitate towards, either a color, color, shape, style.
I gravitate a lot towards colors. I think adding a color to your outfit it will
Mhm.
make anything, better. I have a bunch of shoes or purses that are in fun colors so that if I am find myself wearing, a
Yeah.
monotone look, kind of pops in that regard. I also love like statement jewelry. I think is a good
Yeah.
way to get really exciting with your stuff. But overall, I think a clean look that, isn't too showy, but I think the sleekness and elegance of it is what makes it look good,
Yeah.
is kind of what I'm gravitating
Yeah. I
towards.
love statement jewelry. And I just like last night with this party my friend I went to, she was wearing this really cool like, big jacket that had like different logos of like Olympics on it. And the way that like I would say probably 15 people came up to her and it was so fun because it was such a great way to like have a conversation with people and like that is life hack 3000 is like wearing a conversation piece and like getting people to
Totally.
talk to you.
Totally.
It's good. Okay, so transitioning into our last segment, Chic or Freak is a literally heinous original. So I will give you rapid fire hot take questions, and you are gonna tell me if it's chic, which is like fun, sexy, cool,
Okay.
or freak, which is like gauche, weird, tacky, not your vibe.
Got it.
Okay, butt crack as a style moment.
I think, sorry, I like have like a whole thought process on this. So the butt crack as a style moment actually came from Alexander McQueen,
Yeah.
um, Lee, when he was the designer and he made these looks called bumpsters. And it
Mm-hmm.
was the jeans that show your butt crack. And in that case, I think chic. I think if you're just some random person walking on the street with your butt crack out, freak.
Yeah, because if you're gonna, I would never, by the way, do the butt crack thing. I'm like, oh, even if I had the like Alexander McQueen jeans, I don't even think I would, but people are doing it.
Yes, people are doing it.
Okay, chic or freak, whale tail.
Freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into the whale tail, but I mean, everybody Do your own thing, you know? If that's what you're into,
Hmm.
that's what you're into. But I'm not into the whale tail.
Hmm. Okay, chic or freak, long jorts.
Chic.
I kind of think so too, but I've seen people hating on them recently.
Again, you know what someone likes isn't, if
Yeah.
you like it, wear it.
Okay, chic or freak, mesh flats.
Chic if they look right. Again, I'm not someone who's wearing ballet flats or things like that, but chic.
Okay, chic or freak, quiet luxury. Are
I'm
you
so
so
over
tired of hearing that term?
I'm
Because
so
I
over
am.
quiet
I
luxury.
know, me too. I honestly kind of hated myself for even putting it in here, but I was like, I might as well ask.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not freak. Like it's definitely chic. People look chic. I think that
Yeah.
it ru not ru
Okay, I think the obsession with quiet luxury and talking about it is freak.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
obviously, Jennifer Lawrence, like Mary-Kate and Ashley, chic, they do quiet luxury, like, obviously, but they're not out here talking about it. I think the people that are like getting sets, a capsule wardrobe from Zara and saying that it's quiet luxury, that's not.
Yeah, like no, that's not quite luxury.
It's
I
just
think,
dumb.
yeah. Like I said, I like loud outfits and colors and things that,
Same.
are making someone draw the eye.
Yeah. Chic or freak, I don't know if this will resonate at all, but it bothers me. Influencers selling style picks and bundles.
I don't know what.
Like I've seen like a lot of like fashion influencers like they will sell like a packet of like their style recommendations, but it's for like $80 or something just to like links that they like. Yeah,
Yeah, freak.
freak. I guess I was baiting you into that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, chic or freak, the furry flats.
Chic.
Really?
I love furry shoes. I have a pair. They're
Really?
heels, and they have feathers. But I love a furry shoe.
Hmm. I know. I'm like, I just feel like they would get so dirty in New York.
So my fiance is every time I wear these shoes, he's like, that is like you're literally like
Yeah.
the ground of New York. I love them.
I do not know your fiance. I mean, he seems cute and everything. I just see him from your pictures, but does he ever like look at stuff you buy and you're like, what? He's like, what the fuck?
All the time. I put stuff on and he's like, what is that? Last night we were going out to dinner and I put on a pair of like heeled shoes that I'm obsessed with. And he was like, "Your witch shoes," or
Yeah.
whenever I put on
Totally.
my tabbies, he's like, he thinks I like look like a horse.
Yeah. Yeah, tabbies, they can't get them. Like, I don't have tabbies. I like keep like I would like them, but I keep missing the boat. I feel like, and now I feel like everyone has, I don't know.
Everyone, and people do have them. They've definitely become more mainstream, but I think that tabbies I love them. I think especially if you're buying tabbies from Margiela, then it's,
Mm,
if you're buying like knockoff tabbies, then whatever.
yeah.
I love a tabby.
How good is your eye with spotting knockoffs?
I mean, I think that you can tell if you're like really examining something. I think if something's like a good knockoff, then you can't, or at least I can't tell just by looking at it. But like if you look at the stitching is really kind
Yeah.
of what gives something away. Uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. I'm personally not a fan of dupes or knockoffs. I'm not gonna do that just because, I value like the item for the designer and that's what I want. I don't just want the thing because of the thing itself.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, everybody has their own opinions.
Yeah. Ugh, I know. I know. I'm sorry, Sydney, but like sometimes in my like I know TikTok shop is freak and like I'm aware. I know. I'm sorry, but like I keep getting served up the dupe of that like studded Kate bag.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
And I consider it.
I think, I mean, again, for something like that, it's like do if you want it, get it. I think that if someone's making a dupe of something, it's because a lot of people are buying it, and then I think
Yeah.
then it makes the real thing not look as chic. Like for
I
example,
know. Yeah.
like Bottega, a lot of their bags, like Zara started making dupes and things like that, and then it's like everybody has them, and then I
Yeah.
think that even it's not even worth it to spend 3 grand on the real thing because it's like
So true.
everyone has a dupe of it.
So
Uh,
true. So yeah, I mean, I have my little Anthropologie Bottega dupe. Sorry, but I don't feel as bad when it's from Anthropologie because I'm
yeah.
like at that point it's out of my hands.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, it's like if you like it and you like, I can't afford a $3,000 bag, so
Yeah.
But I think that for me personally, it's like the process of the design is, and the
Yeah.
intricacy of it is what I know what goes into making a garment or making an item, and it's that sort of craftsmanship that I'm after. It's not so much necessary. I mean, obviously the look of the thing is, what if I'm buying it or not, but I'm also buying into the craftsmanship of the piece.
Yeah. What is next on your to buy list?
I'm actually trying not to shop right now, but
Yeah.
um honestly, I need to up my shoe selection. I feel like I don't have enough of closed-toed heels.
Okay.
That's something that I found in the winter that I needed. All of my heels are sandals, and I have
Mm,
very few closed-toed heels, and I just need a couple more
yeah.
like, pumps in that realm.
Okay. Let me know what you decide. I always find that shoes are hard because in New York we walk so much. So it's
I
like,
know that's also I go back and forth because I mean my shoes like I wear them into the ground. So I
yeah.
always, I never want to spend too much on a heel because like I don't know, like you need a cobbler for sure.
And it's like it has ruined nights for me if like my shoes are uncomfortable. So
Yeah,
like
totally.
I don't know. Okay, well, I think we're out of time, but Sydney, thank you so much. You were always such a pleasure and a wealth of knowledge. Um, you're welcome back anytime, by the way. You're in like literally heinous Hall of Fame, like best guests. So like just say the word. And whenever there's a big fashion moment, I'll reach out. Can you tell the Haniacs like where to find you or your styling or like if you're open to any new clients?
Yes, open to new clients. Just shoot me a DM at Sydney Faye underscore on Instagram. Um, but yeah, that's where I am. I'm not so much on
Yeah.
TikTok, but
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again for coming on, and I will link everything in the assets for I'll link all the creators that you mentioned and I'll link your account. So hopefully, guys, please reach out to Sydney. Okay? Thank you so much.